Okay, Coach, go ahead and make an opening statement. We'll open up for questions this side first. Keep your hand raised so we can get the mics to you quick and keep it moving, okay?
Good win for our team. Looking on the schedule as we scheduled our, non-conference, Louisiana Tech really commanded a lot of our respect. They have a good program. They win a ton of games. They had a lot of experience and feel like they're going to have a terrific season. So, this is one, regardless of how you feel you played, we won the game. And down a few months from right now, this will be one that is more valuable than hopefully most people realize. For our team, I thought we got off to a really good start. Our guards did a really good job early in the game of attacking in transition. I thought they made the game pretty easy early, and we were able to build a comfortable lead. Towards the end of the first half, we got very sloppy, transition defense-wise, defense in general. And, I thought at the end of the first half we didn't play as well. But at halftime, 10 assists, 52 points, and did a decent job there for the most part to have a lead. Second half, embarrassing really how we took care of the ball. And I think it started very quickly in our first possession. When you turn the ball over coming out of halftime, you're not able to get a shot, it messes you up. And this the types of turnovers that we had really weren't very good. And it hurt us all half. We weren't able to really get a hold of it. We weren't able to really play the game the right way in terms of how we moved it, shared it, free-flowing. It just became a dribble fest, a turnover fest, and there wasn't a whole lot of people, in my opinion, in sync. So it was hard to really play the second half based on that. We made free throws. Trace made free throws. Our team in general made free throws. We were able to rebound the ball pretty well, and that saved us. But 18 turnovers, I think it was 6 at half, 4 at half?
Yes, 6.
So 13 turnovers in the second half. I mean, you're not going to win very many games doing that. So we're very fortunate. Hopefully it was one of those deals you got to be able to get through. But it definitely was a hard game to watch in that second half.
Coach, I know the two halves were so crazily different, but what can you take out of how efficient you were in that first half with getting points, and talk a little bit, if you could, about what Devontae brings to that, the 15 first half points?
Yeah, like I said, in the first half, I thought our guards did a nice job. We were attacking in transition. We shared the ball. They went zone. Our bigs did a good job of moving it. And we were unselfish, and we made some really good looks. And Devontae got going there early in the first half. In the second half, it was a tale of two halves, though. As good as they were in the first half, it was as bad as they were in the second half. And what we can take from Devontae is obviously it can't be when the good is good and the bad is bad. Devontae's got to kind of stay even keel. And he's got to grab the reins of the team. Al's got to grab the reins of the team. And when things get shaken up, you need those guards, the leadership, the huddles. Let's get a shot. Let's get a stop. Let's calm it down. You can't go possession after possession of ineptness out there. And I think that's where those two guys have to see the big picture of leadership, floor generals, command of the game. And that's what I would like to see, Devontae and Al, and just in talking to them after the game, whether you play well or you shoot the ball well or, there's always that, that basketball savvy, coach on the floor type of mentality you have to have as a perimeter player. And we lost that coming out of halftime. And then as the second half started to really look sloppy, those guys got to settle us down. They got to grab us. We got to be able to execute a play, get a quality shot. We weren't able to do that for a good portion in the second half, and that's disappointing. I don't think that'll be the case, but you'll see. And as we watch the film, we thought it was going to be easier in the second half, just like it was the first. The shots weren't there early in possessions, and we forced it, and then it turned into turnovers. So, but I'm not going to get bent out of shape. The team won a good game. We didn't play particularly well in the second half offensively. There's some things to take away, and I wish our depth was a little bit stronger tonight, where we were firing guys in and out, and we just we shot ourselves in the foot too many times with the turnovers. And this is the first time all year it's really creeped its head, and it wasn't a lot of guys, in my opinion. Our backcourt really needed to take better care of the ball in the second half.
Kind of a couple things. You've talked about the free throw line as being important for this team all year, and Trace, it seems like, is also becoming, both at the free throw line and in the post, just a consistent weapon. Do you feel like as you get toward the end of November, those are a couple things that this team, even when things aren't working offensively, can kind of look at and say, we can get to the free throw line even if the shots aren't going down, and we can trust Trace if we need something late in a possession?
Yeah, I think we got to get better at feeding the post, and I think we got better at doing that. He's got to get better in general. I kind of say this of demanding the ball, carving it out, finding different angles. We got to be able to get him the ball when he's open. Same with Joey, same with Duran, those guys. But I've always said with this team, I could care less how many threes we shoot. The percentage matters. Taking good shots, the percentage matters. But we're not going to win game after game after game by shooting threes. We're going to win games by not turning it over. We're going to win games by drawing fouls, and we're going to win games by rebounding, period. And shots will go down when the good shooters shoot them, and they're quality shots. I think in the first half, most of our shots were good. Second half, you can probably look at a few of those shots and be like, wasn't a good shot. That's probably why I didn't go in. But, we got to the foul line because I think that's our strength. We have strong players. We have some guys that can play inside out. I thought Justin could have got a few more free throws maybe in the second half, but he was good around the basket. But when the ball sticks and it's dribbled, that's a nightmare for this team. This team, the less this team dribbles, the better off this team's going to be. The more this team moves and shares the ball and runs hard and posts hard and plays freely, that team has a chance to be pretty good. But when you dribble, and there's one guy dribbling on this team more than one or two times, I can just tell you it's not going to go well for this group. And they know that. And by evidence of how we played in the second half, ball didn't move enough. And we were fortunate to be bailed out by some rebounds and some fouls and some free throws where the game could have really been chewed down into a workable margin for La Tech. At one point, I think we had a 23-point lead in the first half with 8 to go. And, a team at home up 23, 8 to go, got to find a way to put that nail in the coffin at some point. And we didn't do that tonight. And I'm not even talking about the defense yet. We gave up 10 made threes. We can get a whole nother ball game. But like I said, man, we're past the days of critiquing wins and losses. We won the game. Let's find a way to get a little bit better and clean that up. And we have another opportunity on Saturday against South Dakota State, who's been to a number of places already. Watched them play Arizona a little bit last week. They were great in that game. And eventually, like I told our guys, we've got to put together a Fuller 40 on both ends of the floor.
Rob was out tonight. Is it related to that hit that he had last game?
It's related to a lot. He's got a rib issue. He's had his abdominal. He took a shot in the face last game and hasn't practiced since. Doing better. We're hoping by maybe the middle of this week, Wednesday or Thursday, he's back with us here on the court. If that's not the case, we'll keep going with it. But he's just had one of those unique runs here, man, where he's missed games not for one issue. He's missed some games on number of issues. So it's not his time right now. Like I told him after the game, grab 5 Advil, get a piece of tape, and tape them right to you all over your body because maybe that's the only thing we can do if we tape it to him and he can absorb them or something. I don't know. But, big picture-wise, Armand's getting some run. Jerome and Demezi obviously have played a little bit more. I think you can see a stabilizing force being needed at times with our team on both ends of the floor, and that's what he is. So we got to get him back. But he's got to get back when he's healthy. He's really, to be honest with you, he's probably practiced on a handful of times, fully back-to-back days all year. So we're hopefully getting back midweek and kind of working him back into the fray here. But as we end November, we really haven't been able to get him on 2 feet on the solid ground. Hopefully, like I said, middle of this week we get him back into some stuff.
Dustin?
Okay. Actually, wanted to ask you about the defense. You obviously mentioned the threes. I think they ended up with 34 in the paint as well. Just all around, what kind of breakdowns did you see, and just how still concerned are you in what you're getting on that end?
I thought first half for the most part we did some good things. They're a talented offensive team. They have a lot of guys that can score it, and they space the floor really well. We forced, I think, 10 turnovers in the first half, so there were some good things there. They did make 6 threes in the first half, which wasn't that good. Our offense carried us. Defensively in the second half, I think we played out of we let one thing affect the other. We definitely let our offense and our lack of taking care of it and maybe some of our frustration, we let that carry over to some, sloppy transition defense, not communicating, some easy breakdowns and whatnot. But sometimes that happens. You have to find a way to make the one thing a strength. The one thing that's not a strength right now, if you're asking me, through 6 games, our defense. There are some things we've done well through 6 games, getting to the line, rebounding it. But one thing that we're not where we need to be, and it's not going to get there, I don't think, until we get hit in the mouth a few times. But we're not guarding and setting the tone for long stretches. You're seeing very few shot clock violations. You're seeing very few long possessions by the other team. You're seeing quick shots in transition. You're seeing fouls. You're seeing drives that relate to threes. The way that we play, our team has got to be a team that makes the other team work on offense to get a shot. And right now, if you just look at tempo and pace and where our defense is compared to last year or a few years here, you know, you want your efficiency defensively in terms of time of possession of your opponent to be in the 300s. And I don't think we're close to that right now. So that just shows you right now there's enough breakdowns early in possessions or early in transition that we're not tough enough and strong enough to get the other team to their second side or third side. That's where we're at right now. We're like, get back, let's try to guard the first side. We're not anywhere near a Big Ten team on defense right now. And do I think we can get there? Yeah, there's some experience things that we got to get done, and Rob helps that cause a lot with another guard in the backcourt. But we can get there, and we're going to get there. It's just going to take some time, and you know, we got to keep, you know, obviously pushing. It's not just something that we're obviously very aware of right now.
Okay, Ken and John and Zach, we're done.
We saw in the first 20 minutes just what is capable offensively. Are you seeing longer stretches in practice and just in today's game of just the light coming on for guys in terms of offense and moving the ball?
Yeah, I think it's something that obviously we've worked very hard on in terms of the tempo of how we're playing, the emphasis on certain guys and their roles and what we're trying to get them to do. I clearly think that our running game is better right now than it's been, and I think guys are running hard. I think our guards are doing a good job pushing it. Our bigs are running pretty well, especially early in the game, and we're getting fouled. You know, so that's obviously good. The ball movement is something we stress and we move. You know, we've been post-trapped here recently, so sometimes they're trying to take us out of rhythm there. When we move the ball and we share it and we screen and we got a lot of guys working together, we can be pretty good on offense. And I think when the right guys take the threes, those are going to be the guys that make them. You know, that's what we had going on in the first half, I thought. In the second half, we were very stagnant, and just the turnovers just killed us. So that wasn't very good. But this team is built, like I said, it's very simple. Run hard, play a lot of guys, share the ball, get the ball moving. Conceptually, you got to work inside out, obviously, but you're trying to be as aggressive as you possibly can to get to the foul line, because I think that's where our strength is, and in offensive rebounding. But it's not to shoot a ton of threes. I think in the first half, the threes we took out of the zone or in transition were pretty good. Second half, I don't even think we took very many. Maybe 6, but our rhythm on offense in the second half wasn't very good. But I think as you look at our team offensively, would people be surprised that we're able to score? Yeah, I think we have a lot of different type of guys that can contribute. It doesn't mean there's going to be every guy every night is going to score, 12. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me that there's different guys in the box who are able to score the ball. We have a lot of guys, but it's definitely something. Taking care of it tonight was something that really stood out.
Do you guys need anything else that,
Of course not.
go?
Go ahead. There is no Thanksgiving in college basketball.
I just want to ask more. You talked about specific measures for the defense. Do you present that to those guys in
Yeah.
terms of saying
We have-
we want to get this
obviously
deep
we
in
have-
shot clocks? And things
Obviously,
like
we
that?
have our goals. I mean, they're not going to understand what defensive time of possession is, but if you study the game and you study teams that don't pressure, deny, or press, and they're more half-court oriented, they're more pack oriented, your time of possession is going to go up. If you look at the Virginias of the world, if you look at the teams that, Wisconsins of the world, the teams that make you work, who pack their paint, who use their size, and, you're going to be in the 300s in time of possession. And I think in our time here, even last year, I think we're in the 300s. I'm not sure where year one we got to. Our time at Dayton, late in the year, should have been in the 300s. But you're making a team work. That team's going to have to work to get a good shot. Right now, I don't think the teams are having to work to get a great shot. I think they're going to take an early one in the possession because we're not good enough of just on the initial stuff. And that's something that it's obviously got to change, and it can, and I think it will, because obviously we have a group that's working pretty hard at it. But we have a lot of new guys in there, too. I think that's the other thing that's very unique. You have a lot of different combinations of players in there, and you have some first-year guys or first-year guys in the program out there with another first-year guy. You got a lot of experience playing together. So I think, over the course of time, obviously we're getting better from game one. Are we where we need to be? No, but we got to get there a little bit quicker.
All right, Coach, thank
Thank
you.
you. Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.